Hull Kingston Rovers 6 in the Engage Super League, week 2 of Super League 15, and we're about to get the second half underway. Ben Fisher's try has really put the Robins back in the hunt here, and they've recovered after a very, very shaky start.
And very impressive, weren't they? Especially in the final 15 minutes, they got back into it. Michael Maguire, the Wigan coach, he'll be a little bit disappointed with the fact that they started well, but they gave away 6 silly penalties. And 5 of those 6 were when they were applying the pressure in their defensive line and keeping the Rovers well down in their own red zone.
Some big injury news, Bill.
Both full-backs have been replaced at half-time. We saw both full-backs going down injured. Well, Cameron Phelps and Sean Briscoe are both out of the game. Briscoe with a knee problem, Phelps with an ankle problem. So both sides having to rejig. And add to that, Scott Wheeldon has a suspected broken nose. He briefly had an Andy Farrell-type nasal strapping on to hold things in place, but that has come off very quickly indeed.
I think Hull Kingston Rovers are fortunate here to have the head and feet. I'm sure our pictures showed you there was a hand in there pushing the ball and knocking it out of the grasp of the Wigan player.
Yeah, it looked like Ben Fisher certainly got a fingertip to it, but they'll be taking this with glee, will the visitors.
Here's Netherton now. Jason Netherton, 110th appearance for Hull Kingston Rovers. Only one start last year, though. That was against neighbours, Hull. This is Ben Cockayne.
I just get the impression, you know, that Michael Dobson seems to play a lot better when he's got Ben Fisher out there. Takes a lot of responsibility off him. Pushes him around. He's a great organiser, Dobson.
And here he is with the ball in his hands, gets the pass away to Wellham. Fisher is the dummy half, gives it to Dobson immediately. He finds Paul Cook, and Cook will put the short pass into Newton, then takes the return, slides the kick in behind the defence, or attempts to, and eventually the ball comes free, and it's a goal line dropout because it came off a Wigan man. Peter Fox was hunting the try.
Yeah, Pat Ridges just got there. It looked as though he was going to get it, and then he just fumbled slightly. It was a bit awkward. Looking to get away with that. It's amazing, isn't it? If Fox had just stood back, it's easy to say that, it would have presented him with a gift of a try. Put himself in a good position, though, Richards. It was a nice little move as Earl wanted Paul Cook.
Cameron Phelps, just seen a glimpse of him. He's on the bench in this second half, and from what Bill was saying right at the start of the action, probably won't be coming back. Neither will Sean Briscoe. They're 2 major changes for the coaches to have to accommodate. Crusaders 20 points to 12 against Salford. Here's Brian Noble on his way to his first victory as the new coach of Crusaders. Oh, that's a ball that's gone to ground and behind Ben Cockayne. He managed to keep hold of it, though, despite the presence of Joel Tompkins all over him. Paul Cook, Vella.
Great defence there. You could see how they moved up very quickly. Allowed Vella no room to move. But they're buzzing.
Here's Newton. Tried to get the pass out wide and only found that man with the flag, Peter Fox. No chance for that.
Loves nothing better, does he, Newton, to run out wide. But the winger, as so often we see, even at top-class level, they appear to just get that extra yard and they get in front.
Probably, to be fair to him, one of the most consistent overseas imports in Super League last year, Clint Newton. Had a great year with the Hull Kingston Rovers. But Wigan have the head and feet of this scrum.
I think one of the other imports is probably, in my opinion, a more important player for the squad, Ben Galea, who's not playing tonight. And if Hull can't actually win here, I think it's amazing that they'll do that without Ben Galea. Wigan have lost the ball again.
No, stolen. The referee was right on the spot and he saw a hand in there.
Yeah, well, he missed the first one, didn't he, when the hooker, Ben Fisher, got fingertips to it, but he was pretty aware of that, Lovegrove. Netherton makes the hit, Cook comes through, and then you see the Cook on Lovegrove either way. It's well spotted by Ian Smith.
Could have gone either way, that, I thought. Actually, it wasn't the greatest to carry, was it? This is Lee Mossop.
That's a great rush. Another 2 drives, and then let's see what we can get from Sam Tompkins and Thomas Lulawai, who, to me, looks a little bit lost out there for a moment.
Quicker race.
Luluai, Tompkins, O'Loughlin, Carmont, hauled down by Newton importantly. Luluai again, back he comes to Deacon. Deacon then gives it to Roberts. Wellen flew out of the line and missed him. It was a very good job that Ben Fisher was there. This is Luluai. Oh! And Coley goes without it.
It's always a huge problem when you're going to throw a fierce pass like that. The flat pass, we've seen it already this season. You've got to be very, very good. And you could see that Coley had just overrun it. Inside the brain box, Coley was putting the ball underneath the sticks.
What a game tomorrow. Castleford, who beat the champions last week, against Warrington, who ran 58 past the Harlequins. 5:30. Sky Sports HD1, Sky Sports 1. We've got a cracking weekend. This followed by that. Fantastic.
Yeah, thriller minute, that's for sure. And I just wonder, we've expressed the amazement at the speed and the energy that both sides are putting in. It's going to come down to the final quarter. Who's got what's left in the tank?
10 meters. Move. Hold. Go.
Fisher directing the operations dummy half. Got it away to Cocaine, who wasn't the best pass that. And, well, Scott Morrell just clutched at thin air. And now Alkingston Rovers with a little bit of defending to do. Oh, what a mess. Well, went backwards. He got away with that, Sam Tompkins. He really did get away with this.
Well, that's a knock on. In anybody's book.
Went forward first, didn't it?
Oh,
But it may not have touched the ground. That's what the referee said, Eddie.
But he's got a better view of it than us. Here's Lee Mossop.
well, if they scored a try here, it'll be extremely controversial.
Luluai to O'Loughlin. Here's Tompkins. Short ball. It's stopped this time. He's got it down, I think, as he rolled over. Andy Coley. The referee wants to hand it upstairs to James Child. But Andy Coley, he looked as though he was going to be held up and then continued the roll. And I think he's probably got away. He's nodding. Yeah, I've got this down. He thinks he scored. What say you, James Child, video referee?
Is it still moving? That's what he's got to do. He's moving. He's moving.
Lost it.
Has he lost it? Is he going to be giving for the forearm? He's got to have total control. He's got to make sure that he puts it down correctly.
Has Vela knocked it out? Has Vela knocked this out?
Well, he's certainly got the fingertips to it. I think he's lost control, but it's the forearm. It's downward pressure. Oh, James Child. If you want to borrow a coin, I'll nip down and give it to you, because I reckon he's going to have to flip it to make a decision on this. Was it knocked out by Vela?
Could easily have been. Of course, it won't be a penalty try, will it?
I think you need to reward the defender rather than penalise him here. He's got every right to try and prevent a try.
But he can't attack the ball, Phil, can he? That's the simple fact. Well, I agree with you to 98%. Well, anyway, what does James Child say? No try. And the 20-metre restart, he agrees with you.
That's what I think the moral of the game should be. I mean, that's the common sense approach to that rule.
I couldn't agree more. I'll be honest with you. I think he's got a right to try and prevent him scoring a try in that situation there. And it's
Steve, to attack the ball the way he did, and it looked as though he was attacking the ball. Do you think that's right?
I think it should be right. Whether it's right or not, I think it should be right.
There's a knock on there. One way or the other, and that's got a big question mark over it as well.
Yeah, the scales of justice have a very, very funny habit of swinging either way and levelling up. And that is amazing. I mean, we often talk, Eddie, about the fact that, you know, give them the benefit of the doubt, the attacking side, then it's very difficult for the officials.
Well, was that a knock-on earlier when Sam Tompkins fiddled and faffed with it? It looked like it. Here is Roberts, though. Maybe justice has been seen to be done. Oh, 26-12, Crusaders ahead, 6 minutes into the second half at the Willows. Luluai, Deacon, back it comes to O'Loughlin, over the top it goes to Gleeson. And Gleeson cuts back inside as the rain falls in Wigan.
Did well to the centre, Gleeson. He knew there was nothing on the outside.
Deacon again got the pass away. Mossop so close on tackle number 4. Luluai bullets the pass to Deacon. Further wide it goes to Tompkins. Over the top. Richards. Pat Richards. Good defence. Oh, hang on.
Now it's short.
Last tackle.
Got to get the kick away. Got to be a quick play of the ball.
And the kick across from Tompkins, looking for brother Joel. Ups. Tries it for O'Loughlin.
Yeah. You'll have a look at this, though.
It's got to be a question mark about offside. Wigan, their try attempts go upstairs to the video referee for the second time in as many minutes. They're all onside there.
Yeah.
It's the kick
well,
underneath the sticks that they're going to look at.
Well, I'm surprised that the Rovers allowed this to bounce. It wasn't the best attempt. Dobson, I think... Oh, he's touching himself. This is try time.
Well, that's all right, but it's the kick. It's where O'Loughlin was when he receives this kick. That's off the foot. Now then, was he onside? Was he offside? Oh, blimey.
Well, does the Wigan player go past him to put him onside if it comes to... They've got to look at all sorts here. At the moment, O'Loughlin is in front, right? And then he bounces up. Mossop, does he get a hand to it? No, he doesn't.
But Mossop got a foot to it, didn't he?
Yeah, but has Mossop put himself in?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but if it goes past O'Loughlin, then he's got to be given as a try. I think he'll give this.
Well, Sean O'Loughlin needs one try for a career 50. It's on the nod of the video ref. He's got the 50th try of his career. And Sean O'Loughlin underneath the sticks. Hull KR might feel that they have been undone. The video referee said the ball went backwards off Mossop. Well, Sean O'Loughlin juggled with it and touched it down.
Well, it was denied. It looked as though Coley had scored the try, and James Childs says, no. Oh, it's close, is that? That is very close indeed. Now watch it. It hits Mossop's leg. And does he reach back? He's claimed that he's had to reach right the way back for it. Watch O'Loughlin reach back, and he's claimed that Mossop, his body has gone in front. That's the only thing I can say.
Richards adds the extras, and Wigan accept the gift, 16-6.
And we've probably overlooked here in the debate the skill involved there. We forget that it's heavy rain, the ball's bouncing up, and with one hand here, Sean O'Loughlin taps it forward, then gathers it in and grounds it before reaching the dead ball line. Brilliant handling skill.
Yes, great handling skill from O'Loughlin.
I thought it was offside.
Well, he looked as though he was in front, didn't he?
Yeah, he must have deemed his reach back and carried the ball or caught the ball behind the point of where hit the player's foot there. So.
The only, as I say, the only thing I can think of, Steve, is the fact that that when Mossop makes contact to it, after he makes contact, he then goes in front of O'Loughlin. So therefore,
but isn't that all negated if the ball is deemed to have gone backwards off the foot anyway?
I don't know. You've confused me now, Eddie.
Well, it's not the most difficult thing in the world, old boy, I must say. But anyway, 10-point advantage is restored for Wigan. It can be a game of rough justice at times, Steve, can't it?
Well, it can be, but I think you may be right. Maybe he's deemed it has gone backwards off his foot, and then obviously can go back and get the ball there. But probably the errors, wasn't it? There's a tit-for-tat series of errors down at this end of the field, and really it's the field position what has given Wigan the opportunity, and Phil was quite right there. In terms of the quality of skill of the kick, a great kick into a great spot, and a great piece of skill there from Sean O'Loughlin.
And as I say, the career 50th try for Sean O'Loughlin. He got a try for England against Wales last year, then he missed the rest of the Four Nations, or he missed the entire Four Nations. He was injured, but he's come back. He has lost the captaincy per se, but he's one of the 5 senior players who will take the armband this year.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? The fact they've gone with the leadership group, part of an Australian concept by a group over there called, Leaders in Sport, and the fact Hull are actually using the company who pioneered it, Eddie, with Aussie Rules side, England Rugby Union and Hull FC under Richard Agar, using that company who are trying to develop successful cultures within organisations and sports.
Would you like to have served under 5 captains?
Well, I'd like to work and play in a successful environment, and I think that's what the coaches and that company are trying to achieve.
Great little break from Richards, but very well held on to the shorts by Clint Newton. Luluai finds Joel Tompkins. And while Sam Tompkins gets all the rave reviews and all the plaudits, doesn't Joel Tompkins go about his work with quiet efficiency?
Yeah, he gives 100% all the time, and it's an incentive for him. And I don't think he minds. He knows that the skill factor perhaps goes to Sam.
There's the kick from Sam. Out wide looking for Richards. Flicks it back. And straight into the arms of Newton again. That's not allowed. And he stopped.
Did he get him there? I thought he went over the whitewash.
The referee shouted held and he stopped.
Well, they dug deep in the first half when it looked as though the pressure was going to tell on them, and he worked hard, did Newton there. Tompkins stopped, as you say. It's going to see whether they can actually just go back, turn the clock back, as they did in that first half, steady the ship, then start some really good rugby league football.
Vella goes down, tackle number 4. Ben Fisher waits dummy half. Some more news on Cameron Phelps from Bill.
Yeah, Eddie, Cameron Phelps won't be returning for Wigan Warriors tonight. He's sitting in the stands with his right ankle heavily iced. He's actually reappeared on a pair of crutches now. So Amos Roberts, I think it is, who's dropped into the full-back role, and of course Hull Kingston Rovers with their own full-backs, with Sean Briscoe off with the knee problem. So I think it's Ben Cockayne who's taken over full-back duties for them. So it's meant a good deal of shuffling around by the two coaches and maybe restricting other options.
Mistake meanwhile by Matt Cook. There's Cameron Phelps in the stands, out of the match.
And it was a vital error as well by the second row, Matt Cook, at a time when they were desperate to try to get good field position.
14-6 now to the black and whites at the KC Stadium against Huddersfield. Mossop meanwhile for Wigan. Here's Fielden again for the Warriors. Wielden just on the field for Vella, involved in the tackle. Luluai, Deacon, Roberts again.
Again, the utilisation of 2 dummy runners nearly breaks it through. Roberts coming in off the wing.
Deacon to Gleeson. Gleeson in field to Palliasina. Picked that up standing still.
Slim line.
Almost got away from Reece Lovegrove. This is the last tackle. Tompkins again with a dink to the air, looking for Richards! Has he dropped that? Has he dropped it? The referee says no, he hasn't. It just looks from way up here, although Ian Smith about 5 yards away from the action. This looks as though perhaps that ball had slipped out of the grasp of Pat Richards, but the referee confident enough that the Irish international winger had full control, and he plonks the ball down, and Wigan increased the lead.
Well, it's one of the tallest in Super League, and again, Sam Tompkins. We know his ability. He showed that throughout last year with ball in hand, but when it comes down to the kick, it's both kicks in the second half that have produced tries for the Warriors. And the tall man, how many times does he do this? Pat Richards plucks it out of the air. But again, we must give credit to the fact, Sam Tompkins, it was a pinpoint kick into the corner.
Great kick, and there was no way in the world that that ball had escaped the clutches of Pat Richards on second and third look.
No, it's inevitable that the new Wigan coach would bring some ideas and practices from the Melbourne Storm, where he was part of a successful team. And in fact, Wigan have scored 11 tries this season, Eddie. 5 of them have come from kicks. I think that's the importance now of kicking. It leads to so many tries. The last 2 have been on the last tackle, and they're managing with Sam Tompkins to have one of the most accurate. I thought Paul Deacon would fill that role. Sam Tompkins already seems to be doing it better than him.
And doing a fine job, Phil. I must say, that's his 8th attacking kick throughout this game.
Richards has added the extras. And Wigan now stretch the advantage to 22 points to 6. Pat Richards with the try. He got a try and 5 goals last week. It was his 120th appearance in Wigan's colours. He averages 9 points a game, Pat Richards, since he has arrived here in Wigan in 2006. A terrific record.
Yeah, Johnny on the spot so many times, isn't he? And
he's got above his average tonight, by the way, Steve-O. 10 points now.
Yeah, even I could work that out. And I must say, though, you know, it's an amazing thing how just one mistake, that one knock-on from Matt Cook, just turned the game around, lifted the confidence of the home side, but that lift the confidence of the visitors. It's play on.
It is. The referee says play on, and he makes that the 0 tackle rather than putting the scrum down. And Morel really did attack the ball, didn't he? That could be a grapple tackle as well against the Wigan defence. That could have been a penalty.
Well, that was good work by Scott Morel. You know, it deliberately went for the ball, but he knocked it back.
32-12, Crusaders in cruise control against Salford. Here is Dobson. Back it comes to Matt Cook.
This is where Paul Cook has to come to the fore.
Oh, it's a knock-on that has been ruled here. And it's Cook again, but this time deep in his opponent's half. He's right.
Well, he's had a fine game as the official, Ian Smith. Hasn't been much got past him. Even though the Wigan crowd gave him the bird, was more down to indiscipline by the Warriors in that first half. Remember, they gave away 6 penalties.
Here's Gleeson for Wigan now. I don't know whether he's got a competition running with Brian Carney about who will have the longest hair in the rugby league fraternity in 2010.
You can keep me out of that.
But wait till you see Brian Carney with us tomorrow. You can make your own judge, because he is our guest at Castleford against Warrington. This is Lee Mossop. Great run from Mossop, this! Luluai. Deacon. Good hands. Roberts. That was touched. That was not called by Webster. Bring it back, says the referee. Let's have it back. Fox is after it. Knock on, he's shouting. Well, Jake Webster isolated because of a tummy bug at the team's hotel overnight. Well, he just got a fingertip to that,
and probably saved a try. Look at the cherry and white out wide. You could see there that Peter Fox was racing in. They had a 5-to-1 overlap, did Wigan, on that occasion, and Webster has spoiled the party.
But has he delayed the inevitable? We'll see in this set of 6. This is O'Loughlin again.
The one thing I've been impressed with, you know, we talk about Sam Tompkins having...
There was a right wrestle going on the ground between O'Loughlin and Fisher, and O'Loughlin has been deemed to have lost possession of the ball here.
Well, Fisher, to me, makes no attempt to roll away after the tackle has been finished. That's where it is, and then he tries to turtle him even more. I mean, well...
You praised him a moment ago.
I know, that's how it goes. I put the mocker on him. But I'm just saying that, you know, Sam Tompkins, his individual skill came to the fore last year, but the way that he's just kept his control today, he's done everything right out there, and he's obviously working to orders from his coach, Michael Maguire.
Paddy has seen the low down. Luluai upstairs. And he felt that. Did Reece Lovegrove, and he felt that as well. Paddy has seen us getting involved.
You know you're on to a winner, Eddie, when your players get as excited about defending as they do about attacking. And we're going to have that bug at present.
Here's Lovegrove again, taking it forward bravely. Goes down under the challenge once more. Fielden just shook his head then. Oh, mistake from Dobson. Once upon a time, a Wigan hero, and now the crowd on his back. Here's Joel Tompkins.
They give us excitement, don't they? And he has plowed a furrow down in this right-hand side as the second row, Joel Tompkins. He's worked hard. So has Lee Mossop. I've been impressed.
Gleeson. Halted by rigorous Rovers defence. Oh, Luluai's gone without it now. I think we should mention again that the rain is drizzling down here at Wigan. It's not making handling conditions easy for either side. We've just seen a couple of little mistakes.
Wigan are here. Time back on. Amos, bind. Outside leg. Outside leg.
3 ex-Wigan men in this Hull KR side, of course, at the start of the night. Briscoe, who's off injured now, Colbon and Dobson. What would they give for a fight back in the final quarter of this match? Bill, injuries again?
Well, Eddie, just an indication of maybe this game stepping up a bit in terms of spiciness. Martin Gleeson has just got a smack on the side of the head from Michael Dobson, and Clint Newton, I think, is getting pretty wound up as well, because Hull Kingston Rovers responding to the fact that the Wigan Warriors have upped it a little bit out there.
Luluai really is putting himself around with Paliacina, isn't he, as well? Getting really stuck in. Good run here from Morel.
Paliacina down there.
Quick play the ball, it's the last. Here's Clint Newton. Gets the ball away to Dobson and further wide to Fox. Ball is back with Dobson somehow. That's the turnover. Rovers really kept that ball alive brilliantly here.
Well, they know they've got nothing to lose, Eddie. They've got to get a score pretty quickly. We're into the final quarter, and you've just got to say to yourself, try anything, and that's what they're doing. There's the architect, Michael Dobson. And I must say, Martin Gleeson has done more work tonight than I've seen over, say, 5 or 6 games last year.
Paliacina plays it to Luluai, playing in his New Zealand international position there at hooker. Great ball there. Mossop gives it to Joel Tompkins. Joel Tompkins for the corner. Brilliant pass inside, but was overrun. Deacon just went beyond the pass.
Oh, that fully deserved a try. That was outstanding play. Right from the centre of the field, they kept it alive. The support play was good. Now then, can they get the tackling done as well? And they are doing that.
Cook now upended on tackle number 4 by Deacon.
They've got to try something different. Chip over the top. Look at this defence.
Cool from Wigan. Last tackle here for Rovers. Dobson with the deep kick downfield, which will turn Amos Roberts around. Roberts gets the ball away to Richards, taking on Fox on the outside, beating Fox and Watts, beating Morel. Fox comes back for a second effort. Great effort from Richards.
A lot of people don't realise, you know, that the upper body strength of this winger. He's tall, he's strong.
Riddell. O'Loughlin gets it away to Joel Tompkins. Gleeson's there. Away from Welland. Through a weak challenge, it must be said, by Cockayne. Hauled down, though, on the 3rd tackle. Wigan score here, could be all over. Hull KR know it. Riddell. O'Loughlin slides the kick in. Poor kick from Sean O'Loughlin. That
should have gone the option into the corner.
Very early in the tackle count, that.
Certainly was. It was a poor option indeed. Especially with the fact that we've already seen 2 high kicks from Sam Tompkins has created all sort of confusion in the Rovers defence. But it's not going to be easy for Rovers to get into any position to get a good kick and chase away, because this Wigan's defence, it's been outstanding. It really has. And I know we've seen it in only the first part of this Super League season, Eddie, but they're getting fitter.
15 minutes or thereabouts remaining. Here goes Newton. Great set of defensive tackling that by Wigan, restricting Hull KR to 22 metres forward. They might get a bit more now off the boot. Morel with the kick, but not the best. Roberts traps it, and suddenly the chase from Rovers a little laboured.
You have to admire, though, Rovers resilience here. They've been hammered in this second half. We're going to all over them. They can't get forward, and yet they will never give in. I think that's one of the reasons why they made the playoffs last year. They really do have a mental toughness that you have to admire.
Palliasina trundles it forward again for Wigan. Riddell to Fielden.
All they've got to do is calm down now, the Warriors. Just make sure that they control the game. They've got enough talent out there to do exactly that.
Great home record for Wigan. They've won the last 8 at home, and actually, going back to last season, won 6 of the last 8 in the Super League. O'Loughlin, kick to the goal line, pounced upon by Ben Cockayne.
And it was a clever kick as well. The objective is just keep those black shirts down in their own defensive red zone.
Joel Tompkins could have been penalised.
Yeah.
He could have been then.
The second go at it. If there's one negative throughout this game that Michael Maguire will be looking at, is the fact that you know, sometimes the discipline and the eagerness to try to just go for that second, you know, try to turn the man with the ball over, runs the risk of the referee penalising them. He's got to sort that out.
Referee's patience generally is held in this second half. I think the penalty count at half-time was 6-3 in Rovers' favour, and Wigan have only conceded the 1, according to Ian Smith anyway, in this second half.
To be fair, I think the referee also realises that the pace of this game, you know, some of the players, they're really out on their feet. So you do a hit, big hit, tackle, you can't just bounce up, not throughout the full 80 minutes.
12 minutes remaining. Wigan 22 points to 6 to the good.
And again, Wigan will just utilise the forward, get into a good position.
Here's Fielden, went away from Vella. Couldn't get away from Newton. Riddell, Palliasina hit that one at pace. Once he gets up ahead of steam, he's a difficult thing to put down.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling him tonic.
This is Carmont. You've lost me, but anyway.
Slimline.
A bit of fixation about weight. That's Roberts, that's brilliant hands. And here is Joel Tompkins. And that's a great Wigan try. Joel Tompkins. But the build-up and the handling skills in these conditions with the rain coming down, supreme. Well, it's their second successive home game at the start of this season, and Wigan have taken full advantage. The Crusaders last week and Hull KR this week, and it looks as though now the points are heading the way of the Wigan Warriors. They lost their opening 2 and 4 of the first 5 at home last year. This is their second home victory of the season in week 2 of 2010.
And another Sam Tompkins teaser over kick. O'Loughlin did everything right. He's had a fine game as the, well, you suppose you'd have to say former kicker or one of the magnificent 5. Roberts did well, and so did O'Loughlin. Did well to finish that, Tompkins. He's had a fine game too.
Well, the crowd here at Wigan, they think that this is going to be their year. They think the same at Warrington, they think the same at St Helens, Bradford, Hull. It's everywhere.
Well, you only get one chance in life to make a first impression, and I think the people who've watched Michael Maguire's Wigan side will be happy with it tonight. Even in difficult conditions, they've played good rugby, they've moved the ball around, they've been hard, they've been fair, and although Richards misses that kick, I think they've shown a high degree of skill. I think that's what the fans here wanted to see, the ball moved around. Okay, the 3 last tries have all come on the last plays from kicks, but they've involved high degrees of skill at the end to finish them.
He's had a fine game, that fella. And not only has he been influential with the offloading and support play, but would you believe 32 tackles in this game? That is a big effort.
Paul Cook with the restart, Fielden with the first drive. Should be a penalty that, and he's got the penalty. Webster hanging on, trying to slow Wigan down. Tackle was good, then that was the penalty.
No option by the man with the whistle, and Webster realises it. 20 points behind. Clock ticking away. It's going to be very, very difficult for them.
And if Jake Webster has been ill in the team hotel, he's there again. He has done so well to last, well, 72 minutes, even if he went off now. Palliasina. Justin Morgan started with a win against Salford. Will go home tonight beaten, I think. 20 points the margin, and 8 minutes remaining. Sam Tompkins again. Passes it to Roberts. Goes wide then to Pat Richards. Over the top of one. Gets the ball away to Roberts. Roberts spinning away. They want it fed this way now. Couldn't do so before he was clattered to the deck. Tompkins and Harrison Hansen fancies getting in on the act.
But out on the feet, the Rovers.
Riddell. Deacon. Little kick is picked up by Dobson.
Well, at 26-6, you can afford to do that. And the way that they're defending Wigan, look at that, they're getting there in numbers. They have just controlled this game in the second half. Did well, did Dobson. Very quick and alert.
Penalty now against Wigan for offside.
The fitness levels certainly have been impressive from both sides. Early in the game, it looked as though the Rovers were going to be blown off the park, but full credit to them. They're going to have a good season, Eddie. They really have dug deep, haven't they? And the mere fact that they just had little possession second half and no field position.
Well, they've got a little bit now. I wonder if they can get themselves over the try line at the other end. A touch of consolation, maybe. Fisher. Oh, not like that. But he was looking actually left and right as that ball was played to him by Vella. He wasn't concentrating. See, just took his eye off it.
Yeah, it's easily done. A wet, slippy ball. He's had a fine game, though. It's his coach threw him on midway through that first half. Certainly changed things along with Michael Vella. But throughout this game, I have been so impressed with the Warriors in the way that they've shared the workload. They've been very constructive, and they've worked hard for each other off the ball.
I made the point earlier in the match that the home form for Wigan will make or break any bid they're going to make this year for Old Trafford. And it's played 2-1-2 on their own middens so far. Here's Coley. Tackled by Vella. Riddell gives it to Tompkins. Harrison Hansen, and it's now offside against Hoke.
There'll be no rush with this one. It'll be a dink over there into the left-hand corner. And knowing the background of Michael Maguire, the new Wigan coach, I'm sure that he will maybe do 2 drives towards the sticks, maybe do a switch to the blind. He'll have certainly something up his sleeves.
Okay,
look at that. Great drive.
I think it's a feature of Wigan's play. I think the young back rows for Wigan's have been great. Tompkins and Anderson and Mossop when he's come on there, and obviously with Sean O'Loughlin tying it together at the back. They've got a very young, fit, athletic back row there.
To knock on here, though, by one of those back rows you've just been mentioning, Steve. It's Harrison Hansen. He's 24, Joel Tompkins 22, and Sean O'Loughlin, the veteran, he's 27.
They've been in the system a long while, aren't they? They've been at the Wigan club. They've grown up there as young boys, and you know, the patience is now starting to pay dividends. Fortunately for Harrison, there is obviously.
Steve, you know these players. You realise that you've had to put up a defensive quality against them year after year. I must say, do you think that Wigan look fitter than last year?
I think that, you know, they've obviously worked very, very hard, and each coach each year has a different focus on certain areas that they're going to work on, certain areas they're going to look at. Wigan have obviously focused that as one key area. There's certainly a couple of the key players have certainly lost weight, and that's pretty evident to see there. And obviously they've been very effective tonight in what they've done. So, you know, on the basis of it, you've probably got to say they are so.
And Harrison Hansen took a bit of a bang there in the tackle by Michael Vella. Just to emphasise the point about the ages of those back rowers for Wigan, Lee Mossop just 21. Almost all over at the Willows. Disappointing night for Salford City Reds. A glorious night for the Crusaders. And Brian Noble, former Wigan coach, of course. Their first win of the campaign. Salford still searching their first. And we've got 5 minutes remaining here. And it's not a question now of who, but by how many.
Yeah, I think you're right there. But Justin Morgan, if we would look at this the videotape and say we've still got plenty of positive to come out of it, because they did not throw the towel, and they never do. They're a great outfit, they work hard for each other, but they've just been too strong in every department, Wigan.
Fisher, this is Cocaine, gets the ball away very well to Leon Watts. Fisher waits at dummy half again for Rovers. Here's Dobson. Pops the ball back again. Wigan there in numbers in defence.
Touch high there. And I think Mossop caught one from one of his own teammates right in the ribs. He's not well, Mossop. Nice chip through.
Oh, but well picked up by Roberts. Roberts is quick. He's too quick for this defence. Amos Roberts. Newton trying to get there, but Roberts will touch down behind the post for his second try of the night, and will wrap up this Wigan victory now. They had to try something, Hulkingston Rovers. They went for the little short dink over the top, but Amos Roberts, filling in at full-back for the injured Cameron Phelps, read the situation perfectly and comes up with his second try of the night and his second two-try effort in as many weeks.
Well, they tried something different, didn't they? Dobson's little chip over the top. He's had a fine game as well. He had to drop back in the second half into the full-back position. He's smiling all the way. He knew he had the power and the speed. And it is just icing on the cake. A fine game from this fella, but there's been so many stars on the Warriors tonight. So impressed early in the piece with the way that Andy Coley, the first 20 minutes, was nothing short of outstanding. Both in attack and defence. And this man's been solid all round. Michael Maguire must be extremely pleased and happy.
Richards adds the extras. It looks a comprehensive Wigan win now. It hasn't been. It's been a real struggle.
Tried the option, didn't come, but it's all about taking your opportunity. He has worked hard. Look at the grin just breaking through. Ah, they're great team.
Well, 38-6 a week ago, 32-6 this week, and a long, long drive back from west to east for the supporters of Hulkingston Rovers.
And it's a very long season though, isn't it? And I think when they progress through the warmer months, they'll start to realise their side has still got some ability to feature and make a difference this year. I think if you look at the grand final winners for the last 5 years, you'll see that all of them had a player, all players, with the ability to go 80, 90 metres and score a try. We've just seen some blistering pace from Amos Roberts, who again looks sharper than he did in many games we saw last season. And I think that then there's a key feature. It's one of the reasons you asked at the start of the game, you know, do the Wigan fans believe they can win it this year? And if so, why? Because they know they've got with Richards and Roberts two great finishers.
Crusaders have won at Salford. Wigan have won here against Hulkingston Rovers as we enter the last minute of the match. And I think from memory it was 14-6 to Hull against Huddersfield when last we heard, so it could be a good night for the west of Hull and a bleak night for the east of Hull. That's successive wins, of course, for the black and whites, if it stays like that, and a good win too against Huddersfield for them. Here's Dobson again. Did that come off the head? It did. It was touched by Coley. He made a play for the ball, so the referee wipes the tackle count clean. as Paul Cook takes them on down that right-hand side. 20 seconds or thereabouts remaining. Can Hull KR give their supporters something to shout about on the way home tonight?
Hold on his foot. Wait.
Scott Morrell, a dummy half. Newton, who really has played so well tonight. Newton doesn't deserve to be on the end of a 32-6 scoreline. I think Clint Newton has settled for the defeat. Michael Maguire has settled for the win. And so too has Sean O'Loughlin and Mark Riddell. Wigan 100%, 4 points from 2 home games. And the pleasing thing about the second half for Michael Maguire, not only the 4 tries that his team have scored, but the fact that there is a big blank 0 alongside the name of Hull KR after the second half.
Well, teams set themselves a variety of goals, and one is to keep your opponents under 10 points or less. They've played 2 games there, Wigan, and they conceded just 1 try in both of those matches. That shows you that they're getting both their attack and defence in order.
It's amazing the difference that a new coach can make. I mean, Brian Noble was here for what, 5-6 years? So close, so near, yet so far. Michael Maguire's come in. A sensational start to the season.
Well, they say top-level sports about a small percentage. If you can make a 1% difference, it can be the difference between winning and coming second. And I think, you know, that's the small thing, the small things that we're going to try to change. They looked fit, focused and ready for action tonight, and they played very well.
And you agree with the fact that Hull KR have got something still to build on?
Very, very much so. They'll be a side that wins more games than it loses, and I think they'll be one who feature in the playoffs.